What is freaking up, you guys? My name is Sarah.
My name is Eve.
And we are Burnt Out Perfectionist.
Whoop, whoop. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Again, we're recording on a Friday.
That's Friday. We recording it.
Yeah. What is your survive and thrive, Miss Eve?
My survive is, I'm sore and tired all the time. That's all.
Is it the hemochromatosis?
We don't know. We will find out. Next couple weeks.
And if you're like, what the heck is hemochromatosis? We actually have an episode on that this season, so you can go back and listen to that if you'd like to.
Yeah, it was in May.
Yeah, hemochromatosis month.
Hemochromatosis. Like, try to say that 3 times fast.
Oh, it's so hard.
And then my thrive is on Wednesday we launched the blog website. And I think it went great.
And nothing broke, so score to that.
That's a win. There's no products on it, so
there's no products. It's a blog at this time. Will things be sold later on? You shall see.
Maybe. We don't know for sure. Nothing determined.
No, I just said you shall. You shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, so that posted, which is weird because I wrote the blog post that came out probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, I just have to hit visualize.
Yeah. Oh, it's no longer hidden.
Yeah. So I did all of that. So we did all of that on Wednesday. And then I'm doing 2 thrives because, I feel like my survive was a little depressing. On Thursday, so yesterday, I went on and found out that we had 64 downloads.
I know, and you told me, and I will get to you later, but I was very tired, and I was like, that must have been a dream.
Yeah, so we had 64 downloads within 24 hours, and our most populated city was Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, L.A.
I've never felt so bougie.
I know. I remember seeing it before. I mean, obviously, we've gotten other ones in other areas closer to, where we are and stuff like that, but she was like, Los Angeles, and I was like, what? Also, the ones that always, blow me out of the way is, anybody in Eastern United States. I'm like, how did you find us? Can you please comment below how the heck you found us?
Oh my God, nothing will make me laugh more than when it's we get joined into a Minnesota thread. And I'm like, I'm not from Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm from BC.
But we sound like it. And we totally get that. Because that's something that a lot of Canadians get.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your survive and thrive?
My survive is my body decided to hate me after I had a massage. And I got really bad vertigo and was quite ill for a couple hours. And now it's my body just hurts. I feel like a rock. So that was the fun last couple days. Also, even though I wasn't, it was almost like I was drunk yesterday and Eve got to put up with me, which was so awesome.
For a little preview on my experience, I slept on the couch because the position of the couch was good for my joint pain. And I woke up because Sarah came in at 7:10 in the morning. And I was like, oh, so you're trying? And she kept on saying, I'm just really tired. In the most whiniest tone. And she kept on repeating it. She'd be standing in the middle of the dining room. I'm really tired. And then in the kitchen, I was like, okay. And then she sits down in our mom's chair, which is family chairs, and puts the blanket over her face and goes, I'm cold. I'm tired. And then fell asleep.
Which the funny part is I could have turned off the air conditioner and the fan that was going back and forth behind me. But I literally just remember putting it over top of my head. And then suddenly I got hey, dumbass, why don't you just go to mom's bed and go to sleep for a bit? I'm right here. Everything will be fine. And I was like, what?
Well, she was
you fell asleep with a blanket on your head, Sarah.
And I got, half an hour in, I was like, Sarah. Did you know the guy that played Oogie Boogie died? Sarah. Nothing. And I was like, you know what? I want to do some stuff, and I don't want to make noise and wake you up. So I woke her up, and she went to bed. This woman slept for an extra 2 hours.
Oh, I was wrecked.
And by the time she woke up, I had made muffins, written 2 blog posts, gotten our brother breakfast. Well, made his breakfast. clean the kitchen. Well, I put away dishes. I didn't really clean the kitchen. And I can't remember what else I'd done. Oh, I did an analytics review.
All I remember is when you listed everything off that you did, it reminded me of that TikTok where it was like that one sibling who does all the stuff and the other sibling who wakes up and is like, what?
Oh my God, when it's 7 a.m., I got coffee for you. Here's your coffee. I did this. I got dressed.
Yeah. What? I'm barely comprehending life right now.
So then she came out of the woods.
Yeah. And my thrive is so far so good. I've made it through this week.
Well, you did try a new hair dye.
I did try a new hair dye, and it's nice and dark purple. And I'm a fan. So there was a little bit of a oopsie when it came to the colors in which were chosen. And so I put another one over top, which is the Joico, and it's like the darkest purple that they have. And it evened everything out and made it super nice. My hair is very shiny, manageable, doesn't feel like crunchy.
Yeah. The mix-up was her root came in. I bleached her roots. She wanted like a split dye.
Yeah.
And the dye chosen was more of a toner versus this. Although the color on the bottom for the roots totally would have done it for the whole bottom half of your hair.
Yeah, so what happened was that I got Dark Star Manic Panic, which the very nice person who was trying to help me at Sally Beauty, because she was digging through a box, was like, okay, well, here's a lighter purple, and then the darker purple was the, what is it called? It's that thing that, like, Sally has in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightgale?
Oh, Dark Star. Nightshade.
Oh, my God. I knew it started with night.
Dark Nightshade. So then my hair ended up being, like, burgundy on top, and then almost like a gray purple on the bottom. And then I was debating about putting Ultraviolet by Manic Panic on top. I swapped brands because I was using Arctic Fox before, but it fade out real fast when you have hard water. And then
same with Strawberry Leopard.
Oh, Strawberry Leopard does not stay in my hair. And I know it works for a lot of people. It just does not stay in my hair. Like, I sneeze and half the pigment is gone.
Yeah. Which is nothing against the brand. We know many people that use it. I love it.
It depends on, like, the porosity of your hair and all the other stuff, right? So, yeah, I went in and I got the Joico, and it's, like, the super dark purple. Put it all over top, and hot damn, did it make a difference.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Like, the bottom part of your hair is definitely still brighter.
It's still brighter because, I mean, I was just putting pigment over top of that, and everything's going to be darker when you're putting dye over dye, right?
Yeah.
So, we shall see how it fades. But, yeah, it's awesome. I like it. It's very spooky. It's very fall.
It's like, you know, when people think of, like, generic Halloween, like that purple, where it's like a bright ultraviolet-y purple. That's kind of fun.
Which is sweet. I was going to use Ultraviolet by Manic Panic, but then I forgot. When I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that is way more of like a blue purple than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But it's like a bright blue purple, so I don't think it would have really done a whole lot over top of my hair.
Might have just turned your roots dark blue.
Or just made them like freaking ridiculously bright. Yeah.
Maybe. But we didn't record yesterday because it would have been October 3rd.
And then I asked him what day it was.
Yeah, so it's October 4th. So our kind of plan for this month is like Spooky Spotlight. And what's more terrifying than aging?
Oh, so I saw a TikTok here. Because, you know, I follow some folks, and sometimes they're kids on TikTok, especially when they're adults, because that's way less weird than what it was probably sounding. And I, of course, follow Eminem, a.k.a. Marshall Mathers, and Haley, his daughter. So I came across a TikTok, and it was Haley giving her dad a Detroit Lions jersey. And it says on the back, Grandpa.
You know what made me laugh more? This is really random. When I was reading through, because Sarah will send podcast outlines, like we'll send them to each other. She put, we'll talk about it later, but she put at the ripe old age of 48. And I changed it to 38.
Oh my God.
So how old is Eminem?
I have no idea. I know that we have the same birthday. Our birthday is October 17th.
Damn. I got Bradley Cooper and Vinnie Jones.
Anybody asks, I'm always like, I have the same birthday as Eminem. And they're like, what? I'm like, I win. Also, Chris Kilpatrick from NSYNC, but like, no.
I
also 51 years old.
Eminem?
Yep. He was born in 1972.
did you know, fun fact, his mom labored for 72 hours?
Oh, she sounded like she was a real interesting individual to begin with, so.
Yeah.
But the look on his face, and then I was like, she did that announcement, and then he released this, like, segmented cut-up video of, like, from her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, going through all the stuff, and you, like, see him. But the genuine look on his face when she gives him the jersey and he holds it up, he's like, no. So then he looks at the back, and he's like, just, like, dead face, like, what? What? And I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
I know.
Because it's like, he works so hard. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know, but, like, Eminem has his daughter with his ex-wife or current wife, or I never quite understand where that part goes. But then his person, she also had kids with 2 other people. So she has 2 other kids, and he actually adopted both of those kids and is like helped them through everything and supported them and everything. So I always thought that was like super cool. But yeah,
I always got Haley Jade mixed up with Meadow Walker.
Oh,
Like, whenever I saw them quickly.
yeah.
Just a side note, apparently Meadow Walker's getting a divorce.
What the heck? Didn't she? Oh, she's getting a divorce. Oh, the other crazy thing I heard is, so Frances Bean, who's the kid of Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain, married, who was it?
Oh,
Somebody else, famous kid, and it's like, you're old when?
was it Slipknot?
Isn't that Kelly Osbourne? Oh, sorry, married Tony Hawk's kid.
Oh, Steven, yeah.
Yeah, Riley Hawk.
Which, like, Tony Hawk's, like, 47?
48? No, Tony Hawk's like 50-something.
He seems like a nice man.
He was like the first skateboarder who made wearing a helmet cool when everybody else was doing it without a helmet. He's 56 years old.
Damn. Wow. So Eminem's gonna be a grandpa.
He's gonna be a grandpa. And I just think it's so cute. I know a lot of people, especially in the comments and stuff like that, were just like, the cycle, like, the look on his face was like excitement for his kid and shock that he was gonna be a grandpa, but also like, holy shit, this will be the first kid that'll help, like, break the cycle.
Oh my god, but also, that's really dramatic. I feel like also, like, when she gave it, and it could be like the little Slim Shady.
Oh my goodness.
Baby Slim Shady.
I know, right? My personal favorite is just thinking of someone being like, well, my grandpa does this. Well, my grandpa's Eminem. Well, your grandpa's music it's old and kind of cool. Like, I wonder if it'll be like Snoop Dogg. Like, I think I talked about this before. Snoop Dogg shows up to all his grandkids' parties in blow-up costumes, so that way nobody knows who it is.
Yeah.
Because he wants it to be about them, and he doesn't want it to be about, like, photo ops or people saying where the kids are, and he doesn't want to make, like, a security hazard. But he also wants to be there for his grandkids. And, like, the things he shows up as are the best things I've ever seen.
But he was on theme with the party.
Always on theme.
My phone's dying a lot faster since the update.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just constantly going, ugh.
I know. I basically charge my phone when I get here, and then by the time I get home, and it's like 8 o'clock, I'll, like, charge my phone again, so that way it, like, lasts till the morning or whatever, even though I'm not really using it. But yeah.
I usually I'll charge it at night till I try the charger for.
My favorite thing, though, is, like, I'm the person who will literally let my phone die. My husband this morning was like, oh my god, no, you can't use my phone right now because our daughter wanted to play some game on his phone. She's like, can't use my phone right now. My phone's about to die. She's like, dude, your phone's at 45%. Calm down. And he's like, I need to make sure my phone is charged, like 45%, like it's almost dead. And she's like,
you have a charger in your truck.
And she's like, Mom, what's your phone at? And I was like, 15%. She's like, oh, can I play a quick game on it? I was like, yeah, sure, I don't care.
Okay, I let my phone die all the time. So were you at something?
Okay, I was at my friend's kid's birthday party.
And so it would have been on Wednesday or Thursday. Sarah looks at me and goes, oh my god, I just found out the most interesting fact at the age of 38. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, so we were sitting there and we were talking about how, like, they have chickens, or they were looking at chickens,
and she was going to take the leftover hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, the leftover, like, hot dogs and bun, and feed them to the chickens. Sarah looks me up and goes, did you know that chickens eat meat?
I had no idea that chickens eat meat. I thought they literally ate corn and like feed and maybe some vegetables.
This is like hibernation. Oh, that's really good.
I know. That's the whole thing is like, obviously, like they can only teach you so much and they did not teach us a lot.
But it was so funny because she's looking at me like, I had no idea. And so she asked her husband, hey, honey, did you know that chickens eat meat? And
he just turns and looks at me like staring at me. And I burst out laughing and I was like, what? And he goes, oh, I thought you were going to tell me a joke. Like he just like looked at me and he goes, what do you mean? I was like, I didn't know that chickens eat meat. Like I knew that people ground up like eggshells and they would put it in the feed for calcium. And I've seen people throw like corn and like chick feed out, which I just figured that was just like vegetables or something. And then like people putting like their vegetable and fruit scraps. I never thought that a chicken would just like go and mow down a hot dog.
Well, they eat their own eggs.
Okay, I found that out at the same time. I was like, what? It's like when I was in grade 3 and we had like a class hamster.
Yeah. And
I found a little bit hamster had baby that eat them. Literally, I was like brought back to that same feeling.
So what I could tell is that Sarah's public school education did not teach her well.
Holy crap. Like, I cannot believe that. The funny thing was I was legitimately the only one who had no idea.
It's like you're not a part of a club. So like it's like everybody knew and you're like, oh my God, I need to tell someone. And you're like, well, I bet my husband won't know. And he's looking at you like, wow.
Oh, and my best friend's like laughing. She's like, you're kidding, right? And I was like, dude, I had no idea. And I was like, it makes so much sense now when people are like, oh, chickens are like so close to like dinosaurs. And like a lot of birds are like very close to them and stuff. I am still baffled, but not. If anybody has listened to any of the previous episodes, I'll give you a quick recap. I have this horrible phobia of Canadian geese. I'll give you a moment to like laugh at me if you want to. Basically, what happened was I was a tiny human and I was having a picnic near a lake.
You make it seem like you were 3.
I was 5.
Were you? I thought you were 8.
No, I was 5 and they stole my pie. So my McDonald's pie, it came over and took it right out of my hand. So then my mom, feeling bad for me, gave me her pie. And I turned around and the pie fell out of the bottom of the McDonald's cardboard container. And then another geese came over. Then they started flocking around. And then I think our dad gave me his pie or something. Anyways, I was eating it. And then I had to run because they were all chasing me. And they were huge. And they're devil birds. And they have teeth in their beaks. And I hate them. I'm not a bird person. So that is why I was also just like extra horrified. I've also been pecked at by chickens. And now I'm like, great, they were trying to eat me.
They have teeth in their beak.
They do.
I seem minorly distracted because you know what I just thought about?
What?
I think I sent it to you yesterday. So Starbucks released their menu, or somebody released their Reddit menu for Starbucks.
Yeah.
A little salty. Did you notice what's not on there?
I scrolled in. It was on there.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
My snowman cookie is not on there.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a penguin cookie.
But it doesn't have the glass sprinkles.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So now I gotta make my own.
Eve is a huge fan of the snowman cookies.
So when I was in college and during COVID, and there was very minimal things that I could do before school because, everything was shut down. I would go to Starbucks. I'd get my venti caramel brulee latte. I don't want to hear about how much sugar it is in it. I don't care. And I would get my snowman cookie. I love my snowman cookie because it's the biggest cookie. I could cut it in half. I could have it 2 points of the day. It was great. Why did I open the Starbucks winter menu and to see that there is a circular penguin cookie? Which also is the question, is the black chocolate like dark, like milk chocolate? Because like when I eat the Fox cookie and there's like the chocolate, I don't really like the regular chocolate. I just like the white chocolate. Sorry, I was very annoyed by that.
Oh, one thing I did see on that though, cranberry.
Oh my God, Mom's so fresher.
But I was already highly distracted by somebody else on Rug Talk.
Oh my God, did you see the update?
Which update?
Oh my God. Real-time update.
Okay.
So, do you want to do the debrief or do you want me to do the debrief?
Just tell me.
Okay, so this lady was digging a hole to build a fence.
Mm-hmm.
She found a rug.
Yes.
She called the police because, criminal minds.
Yeah. Rug in a garden is weird, and it was like 2 to 3 feet down.
Yeah. So then multiple people came, cadavers came, stuff like that. Cadaver signaled that there was something in the hole. Turns out there is no body in the hole.
Oh, I did see that update, and I sent it to you.
So cadaver dogs smell for blood, and so they think because it had been so windy and rainy that like the blood had gone, like just gone into the soil and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So they like sat for each of them, and then they dug a big hole yesterday, and then today she was like, "There's no body. They just buried a rug."
Okay, wait, who is out here burying rugs? I read a comment though where a lady said that her parents had bought a house and the guy had owned a rug business, and he buried all the scraps in the grass and like in the garden. And I was like, why? Because it's natural fibers, or because it was like, did garbage not exist at that time? Like lining their beds with it so the weeds didn't come through? Like I feel like they still would. I don't know. I find it super sketch that freaking thing was rolled up. Also, like, is it 100% confirmed, and did she look relieved, or was she told not to see anything?
But also, like, she said that the tree that was attempted to be planted there was a blood tree.
Oh, it's like a really expensive fucking tree.
So it's like, were they putting the rug around it to protect it?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody was onto this, but man, this has enveloped.
No, everybody's into it. Chris Olsen's on it. Like, literally every second talk that I saw was about rug talk.
Oh, yeah. People talking about it, or me like rooting back to like even ones that I had already seen. Oh, that's so nuts. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. Can you imagine if it was though? Because she always talks about like weird things happening to her in our house.
It probably, I wonder if like it was like, do you remember where she is? Is she in Idaho?
Something like that. All I know is ABC News was there like live streaming it, and her neighbors on both sides were live streaming it.
But like, I wonder if like it used to be like a storm shelter, and like so that to make sure that their goods, like maybe they buried
like a rug over top of it.
Maybe they like buried stuff in the ground so that like if it really stormed and stuff, it didn't fly away.
Oh, I was thinking that you were thinking that there was like a rug and then dirt put over top of like a shelter door.
No, I meant like,
oh,
if like they were like burying things in the yard so that if there was a storm, then it didn't fly away.
So random.
But my thought wasn't like, I've heard it as like body. I was like, I wonder if there's time to fall.
Oh, I was like, I wasn't even thinking like human body. I was wondering if it was like an animal or something. I don't know. It was weird. Well, that has come to an end now, everybody.
I don't know. Well, maybe she'll give updates of like, I want to know what the rug was though. Like, what time period was it from? Like, is she keeping the rug and like washing it? And there's like this cool like,
I know my personal favorite was like when she announces after or before the cops came that she'd contacted the realtor, and the realtor was actually best friends with like the girl whose parents owned the house. Which like I was like, I would have done that in the opposite order, like given that information to the police. Because what happens if it was bloody and then you're just giving them a heads up to run?
Yeah, I can see that.
How many times or how often did you hear people say you could see the northern lights at blah 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 this time? Do you feel like it's been a lot more frequent lately?
I feel like people keep on telling me and then it's not happening.
You know how many times I've stayed up to see them and they have not happened, and I have been annoyed, and it has been a clear night.
Like, we do live in Canada, which is closer to like the north.
I know, but it was never like a common thing where you had so many chances. Like, it was always like you have to go to Alaska or the Northwest Territories or something like that. So my friend and I were talking about this because it all got brought up when they were talking about that asteroid that's currently circling the Earth for the next like 2 months, where they're like, it's like a second moon. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh my God, I heard about the second moon and I was so lost.
I was so lost because then I was like, but what about the wave patterns in the water? Is this Armageddon?
No, but it's like, there are only one moon's the main moon.
Yeah.
Versus like, it'd be like a baby moon.
But I was just like, I'm so confused. Anyways, and once we got past that and read more into it, we were talking about the northern lights, and I was like, I gotta figure out what the heck is going on, because like this was not common. That's like being like Halley's Comet comes every year. That's how rare it was to see the northern lights outside of their general area.
Yeah.
So I saw a science TikTok, which then I actually went and looked it up to make sure that this is true because I want to make sure I didn't sound like a complete doorknob. So the sun runs on an 11-year cycle, and the cycle ends on January 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why this year and halfway through last year, we have had a higher chance and more places to see the northern lights. Yeah, so apparently it's like the way things burn off and the way that it regenerates is approximately 11 years.
Wow.
Like it's not just doing its like own thing or whatever and all this other stuff. And I was just like, wow, the more you know. I was just all about consuming knowledge after, my chicken debacle.
Oh.
These are just things where I was like, I don't know, they like kind of freaked me out. I don't know if anybody else was like being freaked out by that stuff, but sometimes I'm like, this isn't right. Like, I know I'm 38 years old, but I know that I've maybe heard like twice in my life before this last like year and a half, oh, you might have a chance of seeing it. And it was lame when we saw it.
You know what also has made like boggled my mind the past like 2 years?
Yeah.
Is how we haven't had like a transitional season.
I feel like we actually have one. Like it depends on the area, of course, and stuff like that you're in. But like where we are, I feel like we're actually having fall right now.
But no, like not just fall, but you know how like it would usually be like summer and then it would like start to get cooler. And then you would go to work in like a sweater and sweatpants and like take it off, go to work. And
oh, that was
like a sweater and tank top.
I know, and that was only like 2 weeks this year.
Not even. And now it's like, it's just cold.
Dude, it was 0 degrees at my house this morning.
Oh my God. And I was like, I just feel very unprepared because I'm like, well, I haven't even unplugged the air conditioners yet.
Oh, I literally went into our brother's room today and turned off his air conditioner because he was laying in his room with like his iPad just chilling. And I was like, why are you underneath the blankets? He's like, it's cold. I'm like, dude, it is freaking like 10 degrees outside. Why is your air conditioner on? He's like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, I'm going to turn that off.
So then I was like running around the house, and even downstairs today, I was like, oh, it's a little chilly.
Oh, yeah. It's a little cold down here.
And I was like, what the hell? This is so weird. Like, I had already committed to fall probably 3 weeks ago because I changed my sheets to Casper sheets, which, like, if Casper ever hears this, bless your soul, I love your sheets so much.
I was about to say, not the friendly ghost.
Oh, my God. They're sheets, though. Oh.
That's so nice.
But it, like, boggled my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, what is going on? What is the transition? Like, usually I'd say, like, school, like, it'd be like school, it'd be, like, a little hot for the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then it would transition. But I feel like now it's just, like,
cold.
Yeah, but I was like, what is going on with fall?
Right? I was like, it is freaking cold.
It's cold, which I love cold. I'm not denying that I like cold.
Yeah.
But my thing is that I have not been able to wash my laundry fully for fall.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm sitting here thinking that, like, oh, gotta pull out my thicker moisturizer. Gotta do that. And then I'm like, I'm freezing.
Oh, I'm so paranoid because last year I, like, swapped clothes and stuff over way too early. And then it was, like, cool for, like, a couple days. And then it went up to, like, 30 degrees again. And I was just like, fucking hell, I'm not going to do that this year. So, like, I did kind of a changeover, like, put a lot of, like, the stuff for really warm weather, like, away and reduced down, like, the amount of shorts and stuff like that I had. Put that stuff in there. And then it was so funny because I was like, oh, okay. And then I'll, like, add stuff later. And then literally I was going through all this stuff and I was like, oh, I'm going to clean up, like, reorganize my room. I, like, built my nightside table and everything. And I got to put it in. I'm like, holy shit, it is freaking cold. So I went through and, like, edited all my drawers because I looked at the forecast for the next bit. I'm like, I don't need any of this stuff. Like, I do not need this.
Which, like, my big transition is, like, going from my slides to slippers.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on?
Oh, I know. I'm, like, literally wearing shoes downstairs right now.
Oh, my God, my feet are so cozy.
All right. Do you want to hear about an office that is haunted?
Sure.
It's, like, just, like, a quick one just to add in for the spookiness. We wanted to bring up facts, being scared of being old. Some of the other ones might be a little bit scarier for some of the other episodes, but Yeah, just thought this was like funny when I saw this. So several people have told me, these are all from Reddit, by the way. I forgot to say that. So several people have told me they've seen a spirit in our office. I've never seen anything paranormal, so I figured I would never see it anyway. Then I realized I might have been hearing it this whole time. Late at night, I hear whispers or people talking when nobody's there. And a few days ago, somebody called my cell phone from the switchboard at like 9:30 p.m. They hung up before I could, get the call back, so I called right back, thinking it might be an emergency. I got the switchboard, of course, and the answering service. And then I thought, wait a second, if there was an emergency, they would have called me directly on my cell phone, probably from a cell phone, not a switchboard. So the next day, I had the receptionist check, and someone had indeed called me from the switchboard. I asked her to check the camera feed to see who, and there was nobody there. The last person in that office had left at 7:10 p.m., and the janitor had already come and gone. So apparently, I'm getting spiritual phone calls.
That's so weird.
Oh, I know. There's this one, which I used to work in a hotel, and so there's one of the ones that I saw, and I'm like, you would hear things and stuff like that, but you never know who's walking around and doing stuff. But man, when you're doing night audit and you get there at 11 p.m. and you're not leaving till 7 a.m. and you have to do math because you got to, count all the things, make sure all the rooms were good, prep everything for the person who's coming in the morning. You're like, I heard something, or something was weird, or it was cold, or you're worried about some weirdo just showing up at the desk. And I don't know how many times where I was in the back sitting at the desk, which behind, so you didn't have to sit up front the whole time, that I swore I saw somebody staring at me from the security camera, and I'd jump up and be hello, and there'd be nobody there. Not a sign of a single person. And there was a really long hallway on either side. And this person was a hotel that I worked at years ago was going through renovations, which is what happened when I was renovating when I was there. And it's we had an entire wing of rooms that had been gutted and went through remodeling. One of the things waiting to be installed was our new phones for the guests in that wing. One night at around 2 a.m., I started getting random calls from the rooms. The room number was popping up on the switchboard, but should not have been, as these rooms didn't have any phones, let alone any phones that were programmed in general. I sent security up to check on it after the third call. I thought someone might be up there, messing with people. There's a lot of people who go to tournaments and stuff, so sometimes kids are nope, not a soul to be found. My security guard said he would keep an eye out and patrol there for a bit. Never did find out why this was happening. Security said there was a creepy vibe, but nothing out of the ordinary.
That makes me think of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh,
the Esteban was there was a whole episode on it.
Oh,
I'm not a fan of hotels at night.
No, I don't like them. Also, the alarms love to go off for Eve.
Oh my God. I've been I've had at least 4 or 5 fire alarms go off while I was at hotels for tournaments.
Oh yeah, and constantly you were just why is this happening? I am so annoyed right now.
And it wasn't even the same hotels. It would all be all over the place, different people and stuff like that. It was never us either. We never pulled it. It was always other stuff going on, and we'd be standing outside at 2 a.m. and it was always when we had a game at 7:30. And they're go to bed, and I'm no, now I'm awake.
No, I don't want to go to bed.
I don't want to go to bed.
I'm just sending you links of these.
So
that way I have them somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I find so weird. It's these places are. Do you think that's why people are making their spaces really bright and colorful so that at nighttime it's not spooky?
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that were really dark. Dark woods were always in for the longest time, and darker wall colors and stuff like that. And then there's the millennial gray, I guess, as they say.
But for me, I don't know. It doesn't even matter what time of day it is. Sometimes I run up the stairs really fast because I think someone's stressing me.
Oh, that's the whole thing is I don't know if anybody else has this, but I have always had that ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
My entire life, it doesn't matter how fucking old I am, where I am, what amount of rooms I've been in, what space there is. Even if the light is on behind me, for some weird ass reason, I always just like book it up the fucking stairs like a maniac, like someone is chasing me with a knife.
I know, and then you're like,
Oh, the other thing that freaks me out, closing my eyes in the shower.
oh my God, does it scare you now?
No, like closing my eyes in the shower in general is always just like weirded me out.
No, 'cause do you remember the spooky season one from last week?
Yeah.
I think, are you doing this one first or the other one?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. But one of the spooky stories that we have coming up does involve something very similar. But I've always been like that. So when you read that, I was like, oh, great. At least there's other people like me.
I know. I don't know. I've never been like, I'll watch spooky movies and I don't really think it's like that scary. Like, I don't really jump at them anymore.
I don't really either. But sometimes if I watched one and I found it disturbing versus like spooky, I will watch like something funny afterwards, or like a YouTube video, like something else to like deprogram your mind so you don't have like a really intense dream.
Yeah.
But it was really funny because like my husband told me that he always would like jump when he was a kid. He'd jump from the doorway onto the bed because he was always afraid of like someone grabbing him from underneath the bed. But his number one fear in the entire world, it was Jurassic World 2. And there's this scene where the dinosaur goes into the little girl's room and is like leaning over. Eve and I are with my husband. And there was this other part of like, he is a jumpy person. He gets scared of things. The legitimate fear in my husband's face, we were like, oh my God, are you okay? And he goes, I had a nightmare about this every year ever since watching Jurassic.
No, you're missing the point when he squealed.
Oh, yeah.
And I turned and looked and I thought it was Sarah. And I was like, dude, what is wrong with you? To which I see your husband holding death gripping onto the popcorn bag, like eyes wide, going like, oh my God. You would think that like we were watching like it.
Right.
But it, like to him though, like I had a friend growing up who was terrified of zombies. Like any form of zombies. Well, I was sitting there watching Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, ew, I just don't, the smell.
Yeah, I could just imagine the smell.
I think that, like, a lot of those things, like, there's very much, which I haven't told Sarah this because, this is a very, like, weird, random thing. I was just going through, I made my first purchase off of Book Outlet while you were upstairs.
Oh, nice.
I also made a purchase off of Old Navy because all of the holiday pajamas are on sale. With Halloween.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Which to you, Old Navy? I have a question. Why is the matching set for men $7 cheaper than the matching set for women?
That's why I always buy the men's ones.
I buy the men's one anyway because they're longer.
I was like, they're always longer, yeah.
But if you've never been on Book Outlet, I'm excited because I bought this book and it's called, oh my God, it's called like The One Missing or The Summer She Left or something. 1 second. Let me just pull it up. Probably it's in my, oh my God, what an adorable, sorry, very side note. This is the thing you get when it's like, you like make an order on Book Outlet. Your order has been placed. Cue your happy dance. Isn't that cute? It's called The Summer She Went Missing by Chelsea Ichaso. And it's about this chick who like, I don't know, she went missing and there's like a whole like theme about it. And I'm like, oh. See, I like those types of spooky story, like spooky things.
I like the jumpy ones. So I was talking with our brother's other support worker and he told me, and I was like, no freaking way, that they're coming out with another I Know What You Did Last Summer. It has Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe, and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh.
It's like older. So they did have one called I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It did not do well. It was really bad. So this is, they just kept calling it like a revival and I looked it up. So it says that it's going to be released in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of people who are like still returning to it and reprising roles. So apparently Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt are both coming back. If Freddie Prinze is coming back and Sarah Michelle Gellar isn't busy, then obviously I feel like she would still end up doing it. I don't know what Ryan Phillippe is doing right now. It's been in the works for like a really long time, but Final Destination, they wanted to make another Final Destination.
Why?
No. Get this premise. Are you ready? Final Destination, but it's called Generations. So because the original people didn't die in the plane crash,
Yeah.
it's all their kids.
Oh.
So it's like some of the people might be coming back, and then it'll be like the kids because they were never supposed to be born in the first place because they interrupted Death's plan and all this other shit.
See, this is like the reason why I have an issue with escalators is Final Destination.
Yeah. My personal favorite is they use the roller coaster at the P&E in Vancouver, the wooden roller coaster at the P&E in Vancouver for one of the Final Destination movies. And fun fact, probably 30, 40 years apart, this is now shut down. They no longer have that roller coaster from my understanding. I think last year.
So many people fall off of it and die.
Yeah. So our dad was on it with his friend. And they sat in the back, and the metal part that goes down, like, came loose. And they were, like, hanging over the people in front of them. And our dad would always be like, hey, like, I still went to the P&E and stuff like that, but he'd be like, be careful, because this happened to me, and it freaked the shit out of me. And I was like, oh, of course. Like, there's tons of safety things and everything. That won't happen. I sat in the back of one of the carts with my friend Chris and my friend Trish at the time. And the exact same thing happened to us. And we were full on leaning over top of the people in front of us, landed down, and I proceeded to upchuck my Baskin Robbins milkshake everywhere after. Because I thought I was going to
throw up on the person.
No, I threw up after I got off the ride. I was too busy screaming for my life on that fucking roller coaster until we got off, and they were like, and the guy's like, oh my God, did that just happen? We're like, no, it happened at that hump there. And he was like, oh my goodness. And then he tried to give us like vouchers. I was like, I don't want a voucher. I almost died. And I was like, 1 second. And I turned around and just barfed everywhere. And I was like, wipe my mouth. And I was like, you need to shut that ride the fuck down. And I was like 12, 13 years old. And I went on that roller coaster with our sister. And I looked at her, and she was like, oh, we could just go in the back. We went to the P&E one time with her and her person. And then I were down there. Yeah. So we went on it because, you know, she likes that shit. We went on the Tower of Terror. There's a very funny video because we were both like, woo! But we went on that roller coaster, and I was like, we are not sitting in the back. And she's like, oh, fuck. I had no plans on sitting in the back. 2 times this happened? No. So we sat directly in the middle, which is very squishy, by the way. But yeah, we rode on it, and nothing happened, thank God. So
I feel like enough random things happen to me that I don't. Like, I went on California Screaming.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It's not that bad at all.
Oh my God, nothing was funnier than hearing our father in the back, because he was a bigger guy, and he took up the seat, and he just going, wee.
When I went on it, they rethemed it to the Incredicoaster.
Yeah.
And I was laughing really hard because I went with my husband, and our daughter was being watched by his brother and our sister-in-law. And literally the entire ride is themed around chasing and finding a toddler. And our daughter was a toddler at the time. And I went, what the fuck? It's super cool though, like all the graphics and the way that it's done and the way that they have them like stretched out in the tunnel part and you stop and the whole theme that they have. I don't think my husband realized that for like a minute it like whips around and it's not on any tracks and then it lands on a track. And he was just like, oh my God, there's something there. And I was like, wee!
I just love that. I could just hear him screaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun times. So yeah.
Well, check out next week.
Yeah. We'll add more spooky stuff. We just don't want to always be reading all the things. We'll change it up throughout the thing. Not everybody is the spooky person, so we'll be like thinking of spooky things, aka this is your time to tap out.
Remember, always stay warped and twisted as ever. Peace.
Thank you so much for listening to us on YouTube. You can find us on all of the socials: Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Facebook,
Snapchat. But if you're more of a, like, just an audio type person, we're on Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, think we're on Pandora, iHeartRadio, and you can also check us out on the RSS feed.
Thank you so much for listening, and feel free to go re-listen to some of the episodes that we have.